It isn't the function of mind to figure things out. It's the function of mind to be aware, to be present with, in a conscious embrace of whatever you're aware of. And when you're not trying to figure out what everything is that you're aware of, there's enough silence for everything that you're aware of to communicate its meaning to you.
Thank you.
On the last trip to England, one of the places that everyone stayed was a house that had a little inner and outer front door with a vestibule, and the outer door was a French door that the top half would open up. And Paul would just go, he couldn't smoke in the house. And so he would go out and open up the top half of the door and stand there. It gave him a lot of time to just pay attention to what was going on in the street, to be present long enough to get a feel for what goes on in that neighborhood. And feel the meaning. He wasn't trying to figure anything out. But every afternoon about the same time, a little old lady with a Shetland pony and a cart would come by, going somewhere to shop or whatever, even though the street was a street used by automobiles. That conveyed a flavor very different from his experience in Washington. Just paying attention, just being present with, is what mind does. At the bottom line, everything you use your mind for to figure things out is to figure out how to protect yourself.
Yeah.
How to get what will prove to be good for you. And all the time you're doing that, you're not paying attention.
That's for sure.
So, I'll be glad to be with you these next 2 weeks. But be ready for a jolt if you start making a goal out of the process.
Good. That's good. I appreciate this so much.
You're welcome.
I love you.
I know. Okay. Hands. Right here.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
About 2 years ago, I found out I have low bone density, osteopenia, and this summer I found out that it's getting worse. And
are you finding this out from reliable sources?
well, as reliable as I know it to be, a bone density test where they do the little x-ray.
Mm-hmm. Do they know what God knows?
No.
Is God who you've gone to for your tests and his opinion?
No.
Now, I'm not telling you to be foolish. I'm not implying that that you should not pay reasonable attention to the need. But now that you have gotten a statement as to your physical condition, you need to now go to God. I'm going to tell you something important. You don't have a physical body. In other words, you don't have a body that is made up of substance that has nothing to do with God. Your body, even physically speaking, is constituted of energy. The fact is that it's not material energy. It's the energy of spirit. And that's spirit with a capital S. And spirit is the substance of all that God creates. The word spirit is used to denote the substance of all creation, including your body. And your body has a divine mission. And that is, as I said earlier, to identify the presence of your individuality perfectly. Your individuality is the presence of mind that is God in actuality. Therefore, there isn't any way for there to be any lack of any kind. Because God doesn't express himself weakly, W-E-A-K-L-Y. God doesn't create tentatively. God creates boldly. So the density of your bones must be bold, full. And you need to start claiming this for yourself. You need to start claiming this as the perspective you choose to observe your body from, rather than the medical diagnosis, rather than what your physicists tell you, your science teachers, your parents, everybody who explains to you what all of this is and that it's matter. And that it came from a purely physical process, you see. You need to consciously have the expectation of seeing the manifestation of your body identifying your presence perfectly. In other words, healing. Because there really, ultimately, isn't any source from which depletion can be derived. You do need to improve your diet. And you do need to have a little bit more red meat than you're having. Most of all, you need to not indulge fear based upon the diagnoses of experts who are less expert than God. Now, I literally mean that each day, at least once, you sit down with the conscious desire to have God show you in your mind, or in any way he can manage to have it register with you, what his truth is about your body. Because it's not only your birthright to be experiencing your body perfectly, it's your birthright to be feeling what that means. And part of what that means, I will tell you, it is that you are constantly being loved by your body because its intent is to serve you. It serves you because that is not only its function, it is its pleasure. Creation, God's creation, joys at being what it was created to be. And so it's important for you, not only intellectually, to have a sense of the fact that your body loves you, but to have the experience of the feeling of being loved by it, because it is its pleasure to serve you by identifying the presence of your individuality perfectly. Your individuality, at the bottom line, is nothing more and nothing less than the Christ. So your body joys at identifying the presence of the Christ perfectly in all of its divinity and in all of its holiness and in all of its perfection. That's the kind of thing that is going on there that has been misperceived by your physicians. That'll keep you busy.
So I think this has something to do with my work, too. That's what I think. I was going to also ask you about work, but I think this is plenty to work with.
Ask about your work.
Well, I've been a teacher for a number of years, and I struggled through a conventional teaching program and did my student teaching this spring and found out it just isn't quite a good fit. So I think I'm going to be doing what I think I always thought I was going to be doing, is just sort of going out on a limb and teaching the way I want to teach. And it's like the first gentleman that spoke his question, that spoke a lot to me. So.
Wisdom is bubbling up from within you. Yes.
Thank you very much. It's really beautiful to be here, and I really thank you.
You are
For
welcome.
answering my question.
Sometimes some of you feel as though you don't fit because you want to escape from something you need to face. But your experience of not fitting is true. And it's not appropriate to insist on being where you don't fit when it keeps your gift from being made. Hands. Yes.
Hi, Raj.
Hello, old friend.
Yes. I would like to ask for the gift of healing for myself and for everybody else here that would be in tune for that gift.
That is a wonderful gift you are asking to give. So let's all take a few minutes to just be still and to feel the love that prompted the request for everyone here to be healed if they were willing. Someone had a need, but was willing to witness for the best in everyone else at the same time, by asking for the best in everyone else, to be illuminated and brought forward. That's a healing blessing in itself. Keep your eyes closed, but I'm going to say something. Each of you knows what you are in need of healing for. While we're having this quiet time, though, I'm going to ask each of you to wish for the healing of everyone else in the room, not for yourself. You see, if each one of you in the room desires healing for yourself, there's only one individual desiring that for you. If everyone else in the room except you is desiring healing for you, there's only one person in the room not desiring healing for you. Interesting, huh? That which you wish to have, give to others. And lest we forget, let's consciously embrace everyone who has joined us on the internet as well. Continuing with your eyes closed. Sooner or later, every single one of you is going to realize that never for an instant in all of your experience of being have you ever been anything less than the perfect creation of the Father, His embodiment of Himself right where you are. Your perfection has never been altered, actually. Although your perception has allowed you only to see a very small part of the totality of what you are and of your perfection. Therefore, healing does not need to be earned or deserved, because wholeness never stopped being the fact, the ever-present law of every aspect of you. And so healing doesn't need to take time. Healing doesn't require physical processes. Because remember, the substance of your body is capital S Spirit. The substance of every aspect of creation. Just as there can be a sudden shift of perception, there can be a sudden shift of form. Because energy, not matter, is fluid, flexible, you might say, and can reform and conform to the spiritual original. Just like that. Okay. Thank you for your love.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Hands. Ken.
Thank you, Raj. When we were quiet, just this moment, I felt a difference, or I think I saw a difference. And it was a dropping away of wall, or some kind of a wall. And in place of it was peace. And a sense of the healing taking place. It's hard to describe, to find words to describe it, but I just felt that everyone in here was safe, whether they knew it or not, but I'm sure that they did. And I felt safe. And safe from what? Well, safe from whatever they didn't feel safe from prior. You know, because each of us is an individual. I don't want to sound like a minister. I actually have a question. And that is, how can we maintain this wonderful centeredness more often with all of our relationships? I know you've been addressing that.
By letting it be more important to you than self-righteous frustration with your brother and sister.
So it's an experience that's available to us. There's nothing airy-fairy whatsoever about it. It's real and it's available to each and every one of us.
Absolutely real, yes. And available, yes.
So,
what you experienced in this quiet time was not some descent of the Holy Spirit upon you.
no.
A special instance, but a very real, grounded experience of peace, because you let it in. You chose for it. Yes.
So healing took place.
You better believe it.
It's wonderful.
But more than that, you had a taste of the nature of mind, being conscious, mind being awareness, what it feels like, what it's constituted of. That should be the threshold over which you experience the world and universe. And if you let that experience be the threshold, the world and universe would become recognizable to you as all that is meant by the words kingdom of heaven.
I don't want to give that truth lip service anymore within my perception of life and the world and so forth. I want to experience it.
Then you have to choose for it, like you did just a moment ago. And you can't say, but the van requires my attention, but so-and-so is really bugging me, you see.
Yes.
It's really simple. It boils down to a choice.
That's what I'm
It was a
curious
rough
about.
week this week for Paul and Susan. And Paul was feeling pity for himself. And he seriously wondered whether he thought it was worth it to hold the gathering. And then he remembered what was being discussed in the ACIM study group about the fact that it boils down to whether or not you feel your brother is worth or worthy of your approaching him or her from your centered place. And that if you aren't, it means that you've given allegiance to the limited ego perception of things. And that when you do that, and you feel that no one else is worthy of quality attention, you invariably feel unloved yourself because it blocks you from experiencing the love that is coming from others. And so Paul had to make a choice. And obviously, he made the right one.
Thank goodness.
So you may seem, all of you at times, to have real justification for being pissed off and staying pissed off until you get justice. And so you make that choice. Until you make another choice. That's what I mean about it's simple. The only thing that makes it complicated or difficult to choose for finding your brother worthy of giving him quality attention is the hit that you get from self-righteousness. At the bottom line, it isn't what a bitch or a bastard so-and-so was, it's what a hit you get from being self-righteous.
It's like a rush.
It's
or something like that.
It is indeed. It's many people's drug of choice. So, you can kid yourself into believing it's really complicated, but it's really simple. It's a choice between two things. Okay.
Thank you very much.
You are welcome. We will take a break.